All right, textbooks. Who's got a textbook? All right.
Which one?
Just the one that we need, right? The one that we need is right here. The Speaker's Guidebook, 8th edition, which is this book right here. You can find in the library or you can find elsewhere. All right, these will be all the chapters we'll be following so you can keep up with the content. All right, so that's our textbook. Here is our point system. So as you can see, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 speeches for the entire semester, right? Beginning with introduction speeches, which you kind of gave a little bit of last time, including your speech this week. I'll include that almost as both, right? All right, and then we'll have some impromptu speeches, table topics. We'll have those, 4 of those, well, 3 of those, and then some in-class participation exercises. And then basically reflection papers on each speech, right? So you're gonna give a speech, but then afterwards you'll write a reflection paper, maybe ways you can improve, right? Obviously I'll give you feedback. I'll show you what I'm using actually to critique the speeches. And then we're gonna have some critique of speeches by our peers, right? So we'll have it where we can all critique one another on how to improve. Okay, so introduction speech. 2 to 3 minute speech about yourself. Demonstration speech, 5-minute speech demonstrating how to complete the task and process through a series of steps. Sensory aid speech, 5-minute speech that utilizes any visual, audio, or other nonverbal tools. Main focus should be on using sensory aids to engage the audience, right? So you're gonna come up with some sort of aid to keep us stimulated and engaged. Pet peeve speech, 3-minute speech on something that annoys you, right? Slow drivers, people who talk on their cell phones too loud, et cetera, whatever annoys you. But get clever. Why is that annoying, right? Can't just say, I just hate when people do that. Get into that. And think of every nuance and details of why something agitates you. It could be the historical context, any of the above. Commemorative speech, 3-minute speech that commemorates someone or something. Pay tribute to a person, a group of people, an institution, or just an idea. How's it sound? Don't come up here praising yourself.
Yeah. I just think I'm gonna do it.
Be like that Snoop Dogg speech. Right? Okay, persuasive speech. 5-minute speech focusing on arguments for your position while refuting possible counter-arguments. Speech that have a strong call to action, requesting the audience to change or rethink opinions and action. Convince us of something. Persuade us. Sell us on an idea. Which is usually great speeches is like, Barack Obama selling something, right? Trump. Selling it. Analysis speech. 5-minute speech involving providing analysis of a topic of choice from a neutral position. Students are urged to use visual aids. Right, some sort of analysis of any topic of your choice, but be neutral. Right? Then we got our in-class activities and impromptu speeches. Activities will be done entirely in class. Students must be present in class to receive credit. So I'll inform you more of those maybe next week, right? I'm still reformulating how I want those activities to go. So give me another week. And then reflection papers are 2 pages. Right? As long as you hit that second page, it's fine. Double space about your performance, on your introduction, your demonstration, right? Pet peeve, all of these speeches. Reflection paper is not required for a final analysis speech. So reflect on yourself. How did the audience respond? Right? You get the vibe. Was it boring? People looking away. People feel engaged. What could you do better? What did you do well? And that is it. So we keep it simple. You're giving your speeches, write reflection papers on the speeches. We'll have some How's that sound? Does it sound difficult?
No.
Challenging, good, straightforward? Okay. All right, moving along. Where are we? We're in chapter 3. All right, managing speech anxiety. Right? Hey, you have speech anxiety. Pros or cons? Well, if you can't get rid of it, you better make it into a pro. Sometimes it's good when people can see that people are kind of nervous in a sense, right? Because anxiety makes you more motivated to do well, right? You're under pressure. It can boost your performance, right? Breathing with the diaphragm is a technique many people find helpful in delivering speeches, right? If you take in deep breaths before you come up here, take about 5. Right? Human body has sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system. One raises everything, one drops everything. So if you do those deep diaphragm breathing exercises, you heart rate slows, blood pressure goes down. It actually works. Magic. So we're going to look at anxiety-reducing techniques to minimize tension and maximize speaking experience. What do you do to relax? What do you do to relax yourself?
Listen to music.
Okay, maybe that's a good trick. Maybe you're like, hey, you know what? Music puts me in a state of mind where I'm calm. I'm going to put on a particular type of music. When I read or I study, I either put on I listen to classical music, right? Tchaikovsky, Bach, Liszt, Handel. Or I put on some soft jazz, smooth jazz. And I'll put on Tupac and Biggie when I'm studying, right? For reading. I'm not going to get all that information. So find what kind of music relaxes you. But breathing work is a quick way of reducing the anxiety. So this is very common, right? We see a few people have anxiety in this class about speaking. Who are those people? Raise your hand. You seem like you did pretty good.
Yeah, because obviously I got people I know here, but if I was just here without people I know, I would probably pass out.
Okay, so if you didn't know anybody in the class and you're sitting way in the back, all isolated, and actually come up, you'll be a little bit more nervous, right?
Yeah.
You got a good support system, right? Maybe we'll do some exercises where we get together in a circle, we introduce ourselves formally, right? So that we're no longer strangers, right? Maybe we'll do that tonight. Very common, right? Anticipation. Anxiety is negative emotions or thoughts about predicting the future. You're trying to predict the next thing that's going to happen. You're anticipating it, right? But usually it's negative. It's negative because you're trying to prepare yourself for the worst. So when the worst comes, you're like, oh, I knew it. Told you so. So it's a comfort mechanism, right? To make you feel better. But it's horrible, because usually when you think negative, you will manifest that reality. Because in some weird way, you want it to go bad. So that it meets your expectations of you saying, I knew it. Right? You want to confirm that you knew it then. So try to practice not having a negative sort of emotion or expression. Think of hey, you know what I'm going to do relatively well. You don't have to think you're going to do the greatest. Maybe that's not realistic. You think of, I'm going to do relatively well with the knowledge I have today at this moment, the mindset and mood that I'm in right now, whether I ate or not, there's something to drink, whether I get enough sleep. I'm going to do relatively well with what I got today. Here's the other part, right? Most of us have bad memories, so people forget the speeches by the time the class is over. But it's kind of a good, soothing sort of understanding of maybe it doesn't matter as much. It matters for the moment, right? And then you can But if you're gonna be fixated on the thought of, oh my God, what were they thinking, right? I look so stupid out here talking on the side. That's not usually the case. We have our own lives. We're not together much by the time class is over, right? We've already moved on to the next thing. So perspective. Either you had no exposure to public speaking or had prior unpleasant experiences. Who had some unpleasant experiences speaking in front of class? Who's had a horrible experience? Tell me about it.
I'm stuttering.
Do you stutter naturally?
No, I just had to like present, you know, like a lot of people.
Was it a topic that you honestly did not know too well? You just tried to memorize
It
it?
was like a project, I
Okay.
was reading off the board, I was going on.
Okay. What could you have done better?
I was like, read over it a couple times before after class.
Yeah, right? You say, hey, how do you master anything? Repetition, repetition. Even if you suck at the thing, like even if you don't know what you're talking about, if you repeat it enough, you memorize it, right? So for that short window, you know it. Just for a short window. By the time it's over, you don't know nothing. It doesn't matter. You achieve your goal, right? Being the center of attention, speakers can become sensitive to things that might be wrong with what they're doing, making them feel even more conspicuous, which we call illusion of transparency. Remember that you will always see yourself more critically than your audience, right? You are judging yourself way more critical than the rest of us are. We don't really know you, like, right? Maybe for you guys, you know each other, right? But for others, like, hey, we don't really know, so we really don't even have a base of reference, a frame of reference to judge you, right? So really, you're kind of a blank slate. Think of that, right? What about props? Is there any kind of props you think that can help people be more comfortable in speech? What are some things you can have?
You mean like your hand?
Yeah, right? What did you do with your hands?
Rubbing together.
Hey, they're rubbing together. You can put them in your pockets, right? Like this. Stress ball. You can walk around with that. You can bring your pen up here, right? You need something to deviate your stress. The energy from the stress needs to be transferred to something. That's just as simple as what it is, right? Stress is negative energy. It just can't magically go away. You have to give it to somebody or something, right? So if someone had a bad day and they call you and they blow up on the phone with you, like, oh my God, that person's a jerk. Literally all they're doing is transferring negative energy. They say, I have to get it out of me. It has to be transferred to you. Not transferred to you, it's going to be transferred to somebody else. You just happen to be the victim at that time, right? So it's energy. Energy needs to be transferred. So transferred to something. Another big thing, walking, right? No one, this is boring if you just stand here and you say, you know, hey, my name is Dr. Ross, and whatever, right? You want to walk, right? This relaxes you. It gives you time to think. It makes the audience have movement with the eyes. So if I move, you have more attention. If I don't move, you're bored and you look at your life. Right? Human mind, especially with modern contemporary civilization, we have very short attention spans, right? So like you only got a short window. All right, pinpoint the onset of anxiety. This occurs at different moments during speech making. Trade anxiety, typical level of worry and fear that we experience across many different situations, right? So we say pre-preparation anxiety. Some people are anxious or nervous about crap, right? So for people who are not going first, you're kind of like, all right, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'm going to start off talking about this. Okay, I'll do one of that. All right. What should be the first thing I say, right? Then we have preparation anxiety, right? Like right as you come up before, pre-preparation would be like actually still constructing the speech itself. Pre-performance. right? So as soon as you get ready to perform, and you like your mind pitches out to that, oh, I totally forgot it, right? And then your performance, as you're actively speaking, you're having anxiety, now you're starting to forget things, right? And that's gonna throw you for a loop, and come back and be like, oh man, I messed up at that one part, why did I forget that part? All right, so here's just a diagram kind of showing, right? Knowing that you will give a speech is anxiety, preparation is researching a topic, pre-performance, giving the speech and answering questions. Okay. These are pretty straightforward. All right, modifying your thoughts and attitude. Remember, your speech is a valuable, challenging activity. Remind yourself how public speaking is worthwhile, personally, socially, and professionally. All right, so the thing is, remember, we're all trying to be the best speakers we possibly can. Knowing that means that none of us are experts, right, at it. So that should bring some sort of comfort in terms of you coming up here. Your speech is valuable to us because we don't know what you're going to talk about. All right, and then learning from feedback. Use self-evaluation to assess how well your performance met the goals of speech assignment, objective evaluations. You know, you might be evaluating yourself, right? You may want to ask other people in the class, hey, what did you think of my speech? Where do you think I can improve? But objectively, you can kind of evaluate yourself, right? By seeing like just how your audience responds. You can know where you kind of lack in. Okay. Without further ado, who are we going to have up here first? Okay. Hey, you know what? One more thing I want you to do, if you have a sheet of paper. Get it out, and we're going to try to write our names, so I can just remember everybody's name. You just got to write just your first name. Yeah, your sheet of paper, tri-folded, folded into three so to be able to sit in front of your laptop. Just write your first name as big as you can and block letters. Right? Because we don't want another part to remaining anonymous. We want to know everybody's name because that creates some sort of formality, right? It's a little more tied in. This is a community. Now, this first. Anyone here does drama, theater, anything of the sort? So you don't have sort of the anxieties of performing in front of others. Yes.
So for our reflections after our speech, when are those usually due by?
They would normally be due maybe by, I'll put the due dates on there, but I would say Tuesday before next class. Maybe Tuesday at midnight. I'll put it like Tuesday at 11, right? Before next class. So you would give your speech that Wednesday, and then the paper is due, and then you still got a whole another week to go to submit that paper. Yeah, they revised Blackboard was just kind of like the old way, so they're having some issues whiteboard, so. Give me a little bit more time on that. All right, and put your papers in front of your laptop so I can see your names and I can call you by your real name. Yes, ma'am.
For the assignments and posting doctors, will they be on the or will it just be like in the document?
In the dropdown, week by week.
Okay.
So I'll get all the speeches and reflection papers in the weekly module, so you'll be able to see those. All right, so I got Adam, I got Dakota, I got Jeremiah, Dominic, Brent, Manny, Vester. Interesting, I like that. I got two Mikes over here, Mike J and Mike. We got MJ and Mike there. I got Joshua, Sierra, Noah, Talis, Samantha. Actually, Peter, Kaylin, K-A-Y-L-I-N. Kaylin, Augie, Mia. Yeah, I need to say it. Because
I'm not gonna shift it, it's gonna fall over.
yeah, maybe I'll give you the markers next time. I got Connor. Who has an interesting story about the origin of their name? Someone specific? Yes.
I know mine comes from the Bible, but for my grandma passed, she named me, and as I got older, I learned why, and it helped me get closer to the man himself.
Oh, thank you, Grandma, for that, right? Awesome. Your name got kicked out of the hat? You know how many other names is in there?
Do that the big show? Do that the big show?
That's what they told me, so they should go for that.
Wow. Hey, good name, right? Joshua's a good name. What's so interesting about the name Joshua?
Could've been another guy.
What's so interesting about the name Joshua?
Huh?
What's so interesting about that name? Is that interesting?
It's in the Bible.
Where?
It's a chapter. I'm a kid.
It's a chapter, and who else has that name? Technically speaking.
I have no idea.
Jesus is Joshua. Yeshua.
I'll say, yeah, I remember it being Yahshua. That's the
So
pronunciation.
really, that's the
What's that, Hebrew?
transliteration.
In
Yeah,
Hebrew?
right, Yeshua. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're a junior. Excellent.
No, he really is.
All right, we have Jeremiah coming up here delivering his speech. And what is your speech?
Something that happened to me sophomore year.
Okay.
Wow, that's wild. So, it was one particular day. What I thought, oh, when you guys don't know, my name is Jeremiah, once again. So, it was one particular day in high school, which I thought was gonna be a normal day. It was almost a normal day. Because one particular student came to school with a different idea. So, I was just chilling, I was hanging out with my friends. And I got to my last period of school, I was chilling with all my friends in the period. It was lively, everybody was talking among themselves. Classroom was dark, shit, had a movie playing in the back, if I can remember. I was in electrical engineering class. It was an engineering movie, I forgot what the movie was called. It was about engineers in space, trying to grow plants on the moon, something like that. I forgot what it was called. And as we were talking, a particular student had a firearm on him, but nobody knew about it. But I guess he was flashing at some teachers, some students in the bathroom that they went back and told the teacher. So we were just chilling in class, and nobody else was paying attention. I paid attention to all my surroundings. I look at what's going on, because anything happened. I saw flashlights shining through the door, through the window, and then the door just flies open. Like 5 police officers running in, flashing their gun at everybody. They knew the student name, they didn't know how the student looked, because the school didn't give them a picture of the student. So, I had my phone out trying to rush it in my pocket. I got scared. I just saw a bunch of police officers with guns out. It was a scary situation. So eventually the teacher gave up the student. He got rushed out. They put a firearm on him. They're going to be big, boy. I think that bitch, they don't put it up. I beam on it. Damn. So the principal, I mean, like the principal, the assistant principal, and like 3 administrators came in over there, like, yeah, we knew what was going on. The police wouldn't let them give a physical picture of the student, so they apologized for having them run in the classroom without them knowing who it was. So it was traumatic at first, but then eventually over time it got funny. So like, dang, but I always hope that it never happens again. I always think about it every other day. So it's like, because the people I was sitting with, they were seniors at the time. They like to bully people, they like to mess with people. And that specific student, they might like mess with them sometimes. So I always thank God that specific day, they decided to mess with that boy, because it would have been a bad day for everybody.
Good job, Jeremiah. Who would like to go next? We'll leave this an open forum. All right.
Josh.
Let's give a round of applause for Joshua.
Evening, everyone. Hello, how y'all doing? Today I'll be telling you about a big moment in my life. One of the most important moments in my life was the time I shook. Josh.
Sorry, Josh, love, not Josh.
One of the most important moments in my life was the time I scored my first touchdown. It was around 5 o'clock at night, and the game had just started. We was on the 25-yard line. We was on their 25-yard line, and my coach took me off the field. He tell me like, hey, chill out when you get out there. He told me my route. He gave me a corner. He said, run this corner. And then I wasn't really thinking about the game when I was out there. I was thinking, I was hungry, so I was thinking about some food. But when I went out there, I was looking for the ball. When I went out there, I was looking for the ball. I walked over to our quarterback. I'm like, hey, bro, come me the ball. I'm gonna be open. So I lined up. I was looking at the quarterback. I saw he was playing inside, so instead of running out the route he gave me, I changed it and I ran a coach. So I was thinking I knew he was a man, so I was like, yeah. And then as I was running around, I was thinking, man, I better catch this. I'm gonna be best friends with the thing. And then as I'm running around, I see the ball. It was a little short, but when I caught it, I had to get past the corner and the safety to get back in the end zone. And then when I got in the end zone, it didn't feel really real, because it was my first time, so I was like, the lights so brighter, it was the stand was really loud, and then I was trying to play it cool, so as soon as I got in there, I threw the ball to the ref, and I started walking back to the huddle, and then meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, I'm tell him, oh, man. And then when I get back in the huddle, meanwhile, I'm thinking like, I'm him, I forgot I ran the wrong route to get the touchdown. Coach pulled me to the side. Don't ever do that, don't ever do that again. And then he took me out for a couple plays, but yeah, that was the first time I was doing my touchdown.
I think that's a head, but it wasn't so
All right, excellent, thank you. Very vivid experience there, Joshua. Who would like to go next? All right. Let's give a round of applause. Don't forget to introduce yourselves when you come up.
I didn't really plan on going to college 2 years ago, because I just wanted to finish high school and be done with school. But basketball and my family pushed me and gave me confidence to change my mind. My family said you can make it far in life without a degree, but you can make it even farther with one. Because to get a better job in life. So far, I'm glad I made the decision to keep going to school and keep playing ball. With the little time I have been here, I've had a lot of fun meeting new people and getting closer to my teammates. So my story is to keep going even if you feel like giving up.
Excellent. All right, who wants to go next?
Love you, Master.
All right, let's give a round of applause for Vester. Encouragement.
First, my name is Dexter, you gotta know. Yeah. Come on, Josh. All right, so my life change event it happened when I was 6 years old. So if y'all don't know, I am full African. I was born in Africa. I'm African. What's it called? So back in Africa, the dream is to really just leave Africa, go to America, and start a new life. That's really what it is for the third world countries. You know what I'm saying? Leave and start a better life and make some money, support your family out there. At the time I was 6, my dad was already in America. For me, I didn't care, but it's really a big deal out there, so I didn't really mind because I was 6 years old. I was just trying to play soccer, you know what I'm saying? But one day my dad just called me and my sister. He was like, "You guys are coming to America." At first, I didn't want to because I didn't want to leave all my friends and stuff, but I didn't really know what's the big deal in America. But, a couple months later, we flew here, and I just like to say that, I'm happy that that happened and we got the opportunity to come to America because it gave me a lot of opportunities in life, and I wouldn't be here right now. So that's it.
Excellent.
When was the last time you went back to Africa?
3 years ago.
Hey, Vester, what part of Africa did you say?
Togo.
You're from Togo. Okay.
Fun fact, $1 here is $600 there.
Ooh, hey, we there.
So, fun fact, you got money. You got money.
All right, who would like to go next?
Manny said you going next, bro. Manny, no, bro. Come on, man. Go back to me. Oh, Greg, you ain't even going here. What? I just started. I just got here, bro. But it's started asking, bro.
All right, let's give a round of applause for Manny.
My name is Ben, y'all don't know. So I'm gonna talk about an experience from when I was 10 years old. Back when I was 10, I used to, normal 10-year-old do whatever my mind taught me to do. I used to do like reckless things, whatever would cross my mind, all that. So again, when I was 10 years old, I was helping out in a kindergarten playground for one of my teachers, and I was like, what's it called? I was the recess security or whatever, and I decided I was with a group of friends that were helping me as well, and I was like, they had the little seesaw that they on, like rock back and forth, and it was a turtle, I remember, and I got on it, and we were having a competition of like jumping off of it while I was rocking back and forth to see how far I can get. And the first time I got pretty far, but I was like, dang, I was starting to try again. So we had a competition. The second time I went, I jumped late and the turtle like flew back and hit my knee. I ended up breaking my knee. Ooh. I was in a cast for like 6 months from like my ankle up to like right here. And I was in playing a bunch of sports before, so I stopped playing sports. Once I finally recovered from it, I started running again. I was like, I want to play sports again, but I didn't want to play the sports I was playing, so I started playing football. I was like 10 and a half, almost 11 now. And like when I started playing football, like that's when I like led me to, you know, my career now and playing here at CU.
All right, excellent. All right. Who would like to go next? Okay. Let's give a round of applause for Sierra.
I'm Sierra. I'm gonna talk about a feeling I'll never forget. There's still sleepiness in my eyes. The early wake of the dreadness of the intense that's about to be upon me in the next few hours. The unsettledness in my stomach starts to arise. I can feel the nerves start to take over my full body. I try to figure out what's the best breakfast option is for me to eat that won't make me ill. I get to the high school to only make it to my next type of transportation. I'm debating back and forth if it's worth taking a nap on the bus just to make myself fresh for the race I'm about to embark on. Once I decide to try to nap, we make it to the courts. The first thing I do when I get there is walk the course with my team. While walking, my eyes are looking all different ways, looking what's to the left of me, what's to the right, what can I trip on when I'm about to run. Once we make it to past mile 2, my team and I will do our warm-up jog back to the end of the courts. After that, we'll make it our way to the tent where we'll start stretching, spiking up, making sure everything's ready to go. There's about 15 minutes left before our race begins. Our team decides to walk together to the start line. This is where we start to do our dynamics. We're stretching, we're running out, more and more teams are starting to join us. Then we decide to do a couple runouts together as a team. On our final runout, we go in a big huddle and we'll talk about one positive thing about the courts that we're ready to embark on and one negative thing. And then the announcer says it's time to begin the race. We all run back to the line together. We give each other our last good lucks. I'm usually hopping up and down, trying to get the blood pumping, and then it gets quiet. All I hear is, on your mark, and then boom, the gun goes off. The most intense part of the race, in my opinion, and that's the speech.
Wow. All right. Excellent. You had me really engaged with that story, right? So let's take a lesson from Sierra, right? We hear sights, sounds, smells, feelings, right? In-depth analysis about, the experience, the environment, how you feel about things, right? So we'll improve over time, but we're going to try to get more in depth so that we could be masterful storytellers, right?
It reminded me of poetry kind of when I was writing this up.
Yeah, it did kind of sound poetic to a degree. Okay, who do we have next? Let's give him a round of applause. We got Trent.
Hi, my name is Brent. I'm gonna tell you about this
experience, you know, that I had not too long ago. I mean, not too long ago, I mean like almost 5 months ago, basically. Alright, it was a day after prom. It was a sunny, cool Friday in May. Well, I live in Michigan, so, you know, May was cool. I woke up and got ready to go to Cedar Point, but this time it was different. It was different because it wasn't a football field trip, and I wasn't going on a big charter bus. It was just me, my girlfriend, and the car. The car was a beautiful, icy white Chevrolet Camaro with a black racing stripe. The car had a supercharged, and it sounded like music to the ears. I picked her up, and we get on the road to Cedar Point. The drive was smooth, with a little construction here and there. When we pull in, you can hear the sounds of excitement and screaming from the kids to adults. You can smell the sweet scent of cotton candy. You can smell the savory smells of pretzels. The ride we got on was Blue Street, the Corkscrew, the Gatekeeper, Magnum XL, Maverick, Millennium Force, Raptor, Riggaroo, Steel Vengeance, Valraven, and Top Thrill 2. Yes, I was one of them that got on that new ride. And let me tell you, it was fine. After those rides, it was time to leave. The traffic leaving the park was stop and go, people getting cut off. We stopped off to get some canes, and we both got the 3-piece meal. The sauce was great, and the chicken was juicy, crunchy, and moist. The drive home was long. You can feel the cold wind on your face from the cracked window, the music from the booming speakers, the horns from other cars. We made it to our house around 12 in the morning, very tired from a long day of fun. I gave her a hug and a kiss goodbye and drive home. I made it home, put on my pajamas, and went to sleep.
Excellent. Very, very descriptive there. Good job. Okay, next up. See, Brenton is a little excited about his speech over there. Huh? All right, who do we have next? Let's give him a round of applause.
My name is Dakota, and the night of January 31st, 2020 will forever be a day that burned in my mind. On this day, we started out with my friends to go play pickup basketball at YMCA. So I was playing in the big league, 5-on-5, first game. I kept hearing my phone go off. I heard like 2-3 calls come through, but I was kind of ignored it. I just kept playing the game, and I was going to answer that. So after I finished the game, and I run off the court, I go to check my phone. It's my dad calling. And so he was just asking me what I was doing. You know, I was going to be home. That's a pretty usual thing. He likes his home before he goes to bed, so he can lock up the house. And so I just told him that I got like 2 or 3 games left, and we're closing up anyway, so we gotta get out of there, and then I'll be home. So I play a few more games, get up and down the court a few more times, and I hear my phone going off again. So I run over and I answer it. It's my dad just asking me again. He's like, "Hey, when are you gonna be home?" Just kind of a little more concerned this time, but still isn't very unusual, you know. And
right? Sometimes our speeches, we get very personal. We let people into our lives and experiences, and it creates powerful emotions. Powerful emotions. All right, let's get some thoughts or encouragement.
Alright, hello everybody. So, January 18th, 2021, what year do I remember? Why? Because I broke both my wrists and he had to spray masters at the same time. So, I was going to a football camp, this big showcase down in Indy. It was like a 3-hour drive from my house, so I'm driving, talking to my dad, chilling. When we get there, we go through individuals and everything. When we get to the one-on-one period, my dad was supposed to be first in line, coach to see that, whatever. So I run to the line, get there first. I'm nervous, and I was shoot. He's going to start, whatever. I don't get the quarterback that height the first time, so like, the coach was like, hey, pay attention. So I'm looking, just like I'm running, running a fade. I have to do beat by the step. So I'm going to the vomit area, but then DB tripped, hits my leg, and then I fell. I fell my arm backwards. So I fell, I spin, and I just feel shock and pain just go all the way down my arm on both of them. I'm just sitting there like screaming, yelling, crying, and everything. The next time I look up, I see 5 people standing over me. Just all saying it's gonna be okay, tell me not to look down. At my hands, I'm just stuck like this. With my eyes closed, crying. Start hyperventilating and stuff. And the dude named Antoine Taylor, I never forget him, became a mentor in my life. I started training with him after, once I healed. He kept me calm. Because I kept thinking passing out. My eyes kept rolling back, and I was freaking out and everything. He was there for me to keep me calm. The ambulance didn't come for like an hour, so everyone was sitting there, they can't stop, everyone was staring at me and everything. And once they finally got there, I got on the ambulance. Every bump, every turn, everything was aggravating my wrist. And once I finally got to the hospital, it took the doctor 4 hours because they're trying to call anyone because it was on a Saturday, so like there's barely anyone there. So the dude that ended up putting my wrist back into place was like an intern, like he just came out of college, like his first week on the job. So like my dad